if there are two people who are equal in terms of their education and their qualifications, and the
Mhm.
only difference is one of them
Mhm.
really knows how to network and sell themselves and the other one doesn't, the person who has those skills is probably going to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more. After years of feeling overwhelmed and burnt out in Korea, Michelle got a job in Canada. She's built an awesome career for herself there, published a book about her career journey, and now mentors Korean college students hoping to go abroad. Last week, I sat down with Michelle to record this video where you will learn how to avoid 3 extremely common mistakes that we both see Koreans make when applying for jobs. After watching this, if you'd like to connect with Michelle or myself, I put a bunch of our contact links below. Enjoy the video.
Hi everyone, my name is Michelle, and I'm here with Coach Grant. Yeah, he's really famous coach, for Koreans, as I know. So
Thank you, Michelle. It's
let
very
me,
nice.
yeah, you're welcome. Let me briefly introduce about Coach Grant, just really for short. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Grant is a career coach for student or people who are looking for working working abroad. So yeah, if
Mm-hmm.
you have
Mm-hmm.
any, you know if you really want to maybe get a job in abroad or in any other countries, yeah, you should Grant is the one who's gonna help you out.
That is very nice of you, Michelle. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and okay, so right now I have with 5 questions, so
Okay.
I'm gonna start from the first question. Are you
Sure, sure.
ready?
I'll do my best. I'm ready.
Okay, okay. I strongly believe you. Okay, so
Thank
let
you
me
so
start with the first question. Yeah.
much.
Okay, why you work with Korean people? Yeah.
That is a good question. I get that one
Mm-hmm.
almost every day on LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I actually lived in Korea for about
Mm-hmm.
2.5 years.
Wow.
I moved there in 2016. I worked at an English academy. And while living there, I was so impressed with how motivated, how hardworking, how passionate, and how kind people are. Like
Mm-hmm.
I had never been outside of the US until I moved to Korea. It
Mm-hmm.
was my first experience in another culture, and it
Mm-hmm.
was wonderful. I loved so many of the people that I met, but I also recognize that unfortunately, a lot of people get pretty bad deals when it comes to work.
Mm-hmm.
They're working really long hours.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of being forced by their bosses to do this unpaid
Oh,
overtime, which is
yeah.
complete bullshit. I feel so bad for people
Mm-hmm.
stuck in that scenario, and they're
Yeah.
probably not earning as much as they deserve.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I see so many people like that who are very hardworking and have so much value to give, and I think they deserve so
Mm-hmm.
much better. There are kind of two paths forward for them in their
Mm-hmm.
careers.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, they could have a career where they are forever limited to working
Mm-hmm.
in Korean in Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, they have the opportunity to go abroad, work internationally, get opportunities anywhere in the world. And
Mm-hmm.
for 99% of people, that is a much more fulfilling option.
Yeah,
It's
of
gonna lead
course.
to a higher salary, but it's
Yeah,
also
for
gonna
sure.
lead to a more interesting life,
Mm-hmm.
a better work-life balance, a better work culture, the opportunity to live and meet so many live with and meet so many
Mm-hmm.
different people. And I want to help people unlock that because I
Mm-hmm.
loved going abroad, and I think that's
Mm-hmm.
something that everyone
Mm-hmm.
should experience at some point.
Oh, yeah. I like the, yeah, the sentence you mentioned, like, you want to unlock, their potential, right?
Mhm, mhm,
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
However,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, a lot of English classes are not very
Mm-hmm.
good.
I
And
know.
they there are so many classes in Korea where it's all
Mm-hmm.
about grammar. You're basically just paying money to have random free talking conversations with people where
Mm-hmm.
there's very little feedback. You don't
Mm-hmm.
improve very much. You waste a
Mm-hmm.
ton of time, a ton of money. And at the end of it, you're not any closer to having the career you want. Because
Mm-hmm.
with a majority of people, they're not learning English because it's fun or because
Mm-hmm.
they're passionate about grammar.
Mm-hmm.
They're learning it because they know
Mm-hmm.
it's a method for them to
Mm-hmm.
enhance their lives and enhance their
Mm-hmm.
careers.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I started my business in 2020, my goal was to create a
Mm-hmm.
service that is perfectly aligned with what
Mm-hmm.
Korean people actually want, which
Mm-hmm.
is to move up in their careers and have a more
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling life.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, I started more focused on business English.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with about 200 different Koreans in
Mm-hmm.
2020, 2021, and 2022.
Wow. Mm-hmm. That's a
I, I,
lot.
I spent thousands of hours teaching one-to-one
Mm-hmm.
classes to people
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
in all industries at all English levels, everyone from entry-level employees all the way
Mm-hmm.
to country managers, CEOs,
Mm-hmm.
and company founders.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, though, what I realized is the most value I can add to someone, it's to someone's life. It's not necessarily helping them with their business
Mm-hmm.
emails or helping them with
Mm-hmm.
presentations. It's really directly helping them stand out in their job search.
Mm.
And
Yeah,
so,
I guess maybe that could be the second question, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah. Let me maybe ask you maybe the second question.
okay, sure, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe the second one is some of the main problems, mistakes I see Korean people make in international job searches, right? So I guess maybe you're the
Mhm,
one who can guide maybe the most, I don't know, suitable
mhm,
jobs or positions for them. Yeah. So could you
mhm,
explain
mhm.
how? Yeah.
Sure, sure. So I would say there are three main mistakes that I see Korean people make when they hope to go abroad.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to talk about each of them and then a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
how you can fix them, which kind of leads
Okay.
into the next question. So,
It'd be great. Mm-hmm.
great, great.
Mm-hmm.
So, the first thing I see is a lot of people are not nearly proactive enough.
Yeah. Right.
They have this very passive approach where
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they have a poorly written LinkedIn
Mm-hmm.
profile. They just turn on the open to work.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they send their resume to like 20 companies, but they don't do any research and they just wait and they hope magically a job falls into their
Mm-hmm.
lap.
Mm-hmm.
And the reality is, if you're trying to go abroad, if this is a country and a company where you don't know anybody, you don't have
Mm-hmm.
any connections, you have to do more than just sending your resume and waiting to hear back.
Mm-hmm.
Because people who do that, those are the people who apply to 300 jobs and don't get any interviews, and they end up waiting months and months, just getting progressively more stressed. So, through every step of your job search, you need to have this attitude where you're really highlighting your value and doing more than the minimum effort. Don't just
Mm-hmm.
send a resume, reach out to people on LinkedIn, introduce yourself, talk a little bit about your background, the skills you have, the impact you've made in your career, and why you're interested in that specific company.
Mm-hmm.
If you're able to meet people and make a good impression so they know you, and then you apply, you have a great resume, you have a professional cover letter that tells the story of your career, and you have a full LinkedIn profile that's filled with all the value you can offer,
Mm-hmm.
that is what's going to get you an interview. And that's what's going to get you the opportunities you're hoping for. So be proactive and go beyond just sending that resume. That's my
Mm-hmm.
first tip.
Mm-hmm.
My second tip is
Mm-hmm.
I think so many people focus way too much on English and
Mm-hmm.
not enough on showing that value.
Mm-hmm.
Something that kind of,
I totally agree with that.
yes, yes. Something that always kind of bothers me,
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, is
Mm-hmm.
whenever I'm working with someone for preparing for a job interview,
Mm-hmm.
and they say I'm still writing my script, or
Oh.
or I
Mm-hmm.
want you to check my script, and
Mm-hmm.
their idea of getting ready
Mm-hmm.
for an interview is
Mm-hmm.
literally writing word for word every single thing they'll say, and then we
Mm-hmm.
sit there in class and read it together, and then I edit the grammar. That's just not the best way to prepare.
Mm-hmm. True, true.
Mm-hmm. Like when you
Yeah.
think back to any great conversation you've ever had in your life,
Mm-hmm.
you're not reading a script.
Mm-hmm.
You're communicating and you're connecting with that other person.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to do in interviews because that is what's actually important.
Mm-hmm.
I think people put way too much emphasis on having
Mm-hmm.
good grammar or using the right
Mm-hmm.
expressions.
Mm-hmm.
And you've gotten a great job abroad. I think you know no recruiter, no hiring manager is sitting there thinking, okay, this person made a grammar mistake. We're not hiring them. what's actually important, what is so much more important
Mm-hmm.
than having the right grammar is
Mm-hmm.
that you show your value and your
Mm-hmm.
passion and your attitude,
Mm-hmm.
proving why you're a good fit for the job,
Absolutely.
that you're listening to and that you're connecting with the interviewer,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and that you're delivering your message in a
Mm-hmm.
way that shows your confidence and
Mm-hmm.
shows your belief. Because when a lot of people are so focused on a script, it's like they turn into a robot. They're sitting there, they're reading it on their computer, and they just
Yeah.
talk in a normal voice without any enthusiasm.
Yeah, it's so a lot of people like that.
Yes. And recruiters can easily
Mhm.
tell if you're
Mhm.
actually speaking from your heart or if you're
Mhm.
just reading something you wrote down earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah, don't hide behind your script.
Mhm.
Plan and prepare, but
Mhm.
this is a conversation. It's not an English test.
Yeah,
Focus
right.
on showing your value. Perfect grammar is not nearly as important. And the final mistake I see a lot of people
Mhm.
making is they're doing something that's not working
Mhm.
necessarily, and they just keep doing the same thing.
Mm.
Like if you send your resume to 30
Mhm.
jobs and you don't hear back from anyone, you don't
Mhm.
get any interviews, don't just keep sending your resume to more companies.
Mhm.
If you reach out to 30 recruiters, you send 30 messages on LinkedIn and you get zero responses, don't keep sending the same message.
Mhm.
If your strategy isn't working, you need to change it.
Mhm.
And this is a tip that I feel that has affected my life very in a very big way, because now I have a pretty successful business that I love and I get to work with
Mhm.
a lot of great people, but it
Mhm.
wasn't always like this.
Mm.
When I tried to build a business, I
Mhm.
struggled so hard for months
Mm.
because I didn't really have a strategy. I wasn't adapting. I wasn't following any method. I was just doing what I thought would work. And ultimately, I was about ready to quit my business
Mm.
in early 2020, but I
Oh.
found a mentor
Mhm.
who was able to help me learn how to market, learn how to
Mhm.
find clients, learn how to
Mhm.
sell in a way that
Mhm.
gets people excited to work with me.
Mm.
And learning those skills has completely changed my life. And
Mm.
investing in that coaching, probably for the rest of my life, it will be the greatest investment I've ever made.
Mm.
And I see so many people in and outside of my network on LinkedIn that are obviously struggling in their job search.
Mm.
And it makes me really sad for them because I know that they need to change their strategy, but
Mhm.
maybe they're too stubborn or they're too worried about spending any money, and they don't do it. And so yeah, my advice would be if it's not working out for you, you need to change. It doesn't have to be from working with me, doesn't have to be from working with Michelle, but
Mhm.
study, do some research, take a course, find something to to improve your strategy so you're going to be able to eventually get the job that you're
Mhm.
hoping for.
I've been really wondering, how your program works for people. So could you share more about your programs? Yeah.
Sure, sure. So first I'll explain who the program's for, then
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain the goals, and then
Mm-hmm.
I'll explain a little bit
Okay,
of the
step
more
by step.
detailed process.
Okay,
Yes,
good.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the program is designed for Korean business professionals who have a couple years of experience. So this probably isn't best if you're 19 and you're looking for a summer internship. So maybe you're in your late 20s, your 30s, your 40s. You have that experience, you're ready for the next step in your career. You don't have to be a fluent English speaker, but at least at an intermediate level. And you either want to go abroad or you want to get an international role in Korea. If that sounds like you, then you're the exact person this program's designed for.
Okay.
I call it the Career Accelerator. It's 4 months long, and there are two main goals.
Mm-hmm.
The first goal is not just to get you a job, because I think most Korean people, if they apply to enough jobs and they wait long enough, eventually somebody is going to hire them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just looking for any job, you don't need my program.
Mm-hmm.
If you want the best job you possibly can at this level in your career, then that's what this program's for. With
Oh.
with everyone I work with, I want to help them get a position where they're earning at least $10,000 more per year
Mm-hmm.
and they have a better work-life balance. Those are the two things we search for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first objective, getting them the best job they possibly can get at this level in their career. And the second one is showing them how to network and sell themselves,
Mm-hmm.
which are, in my mind, the two most high value skills that anyone in any career can have. If you know how to make new connections in a new area, if you know how to show your value in a confident, compelling way, that can completely change your life. If there are two people who are equal in terms of their education and their qualifications, and the
Mm-hmm.
only difference is one of them
Mm-hmm.
really knows how to network and sell themselves and the other one doesn't, the person who has those skills is probably going to earn hundreds of thousands of dollars more over the course of their
Wow.
career. They're going to get promoted
Mm-hmm.
faster. They're going to have
Mm-hmm.
a more fulfilling career.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to earn a lot more. And it's going to eventually lead to them living a completely different life than the other person, even though their backgrounds are very similar.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what my program
Wow.
teaches. So, in terms of the program process,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
before we send any application, before we write your resume, we get very clear on your selling points,
Mm-hmm.
which is what's going to make you stand out throughout the job search. And there are two main categories here. There's all of the results from your work and the skills that you have,
Mm-hmm.
and then your why, your
Mm-hmm.
passion, your beliefs, what you love about your industry, what drives you to continue progressing in your career. We sit down together, we go through your full career, and we find all of the best selling points that you'll be able to show throughout your resume, your LinkedIn profile, and then in your interviews. So once we've really found what makes you unique and what makes you special, we fill your LinkedIn profile with all of
Mm-hmm.
that information.
Mm-hmm.
I help you design a really
Sure.
good banner, write your
Mm-hmm.
about section, write every single section. Once we've done that, we research. We find the companies that you want to work at. We find out what their mission is, what their values are,
Mm-hmm.
the products they sell, their goals. And we also find several people on LinkedIn that are working there currently.
Mm-hmm.
I help you type the exact connection requests, the cold emails you send. And because your profile is so well written, and because I help you write the best messages possible, it's very likely that you're going to get a good number of new connections and people that respond really positively to you.
Mm-hmm.
You make that good first impression. You maybe ask a few questions in the DMs, get a coffee chat if you can, and those connections are going to make you so much more likely to get an interview. So make that great first impression first. Then we write fantastic application documents. You apply, you quickly get an interview. We prepare everything you need to do, not just how to answer the questions, but we'll go through the small talk at the beginning, how to show your value with everything they ask you. We'll plan the best questions you can ask them to get more information on the role, really show your interest, and learn stuff that you can use in the later round interviews. We'll cover how to conclude the interview in a really natural, professional way where you make that confident final impression. And then I'll help you write the exact thank you message you can send to all the interviewers afterwards.
Wow.
So if we're able to do all of that, it is highly likely that you're going to get an offer that you're really excited about. So
Mm.
if there's any time left in our program, because
Mhm.
some people get an offer pretty quickly, some people it's not till the very
Mhm.
end, but with whatever time we have left, we
Mhm.
just get you ready to make an awesome first impression at whatever new job you have. So
Wow.
getting you
Mhm.
ready for those first meetings with your managers, how
Mhm.
to practice and give any presentations you'll
Mhm.
have at your new workplace. So ultimately, by the end of the program, you're going to have a job that you're really excited about. You will have
Mhm.
learned skills that you'll be able to use for the rest of your career,
Mhm.
and you'll feel ready to be tremendously successful at whatever new opportunity you have.
Wow. I mean, I couldn't even say in one word because everything was really perfect. So, I mean, yeah. if maybe people all go through your programs, I guess they're gonna just rock it. Yeah. So
Thank you so much, Michelle.
okay, I think this would be the last question. So
Sure.
how people can contact you to learn more? Yeah.
Perfect. So I would say the best thing to do is just to follow and message me on
Mhm.
LinkedIn.
Okay.
I
So,
get I get about
mhm.
25 messages a day, so
Wow.
I might
Mhm.
not immediately respond. So if you
Mhm.
message me and it takes me a few days,
Mhm.
I'll get to you eventually, I promise. But
Mhm.
yeah, you can follow me. I post a lot of free stuff on LinkedIn anyway.
Mhm.
And if you're ever interested in working
Mhm.
together, you can
Mhm.
reach out. If you just want some help but you don't want to work with me,
Mhm.
that's fine as well.
Mhm.
I don't care if you never spend a penny on anything I sell. I want to
Mhm.
add value to your life and I want to help you reach your goals. So reach out
Mm.
anytime. I'm happy to help you
Mhm.
however I can.
Oh, so good. You're the really great person, like, to add the, core value to to people's lives, I guess. Wow.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
Anthony.
Michelle. Same to
Yeah.
you.
Oh,
I think you're a great example of
yeah.
what Korean people can build for themselves if they have that
Mhm.
confidence to be proactive
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
go abroad.
All right. Yeah. Thank you so much for your answer and your time. And then I think maybe people will look for definitely, on your LinkedIn. And then yeah, hopefully next time we're gonna have a live session together. and, and then we can have Q&A session or LinkedIn session together, I guess, for people, who are looking for really good coaches, right? Yeah.
That
So
would be
yeah,
great. I would
again,
love to do that with you sometime, Michelle.
thank you so much. Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much for today. And then
Hmm.
yeah, hope to meet you soon again.
Totally. Thank you so much too, Michelle. This has been a lot of fun. All
Yeah,
right.
thank you.
Take care.
Bye. Take care.